Hey there, YouTube. I just want to make a quick video. This is going to be my first video. I don't know if it's going to be my last, but I got banned from the MagicTCG subreddit yesterday, and I'm not 100% sure why. I feel like I made some pretty reasonable assessments about things. I know there's a lot of drama going on right now, and I won't bore people with that because I'm sure they know, if they're watching this video, exactly what that's about. But I thought it was weird that I got banned, considering the things that I said weren't particularly egregious or even a little bit controversial. And I was just going to go over a little bit of that because I thought people would want to see it. So originally I was on my phone, actually. I was sitting on lunch at work, and I just saw some of the stuff that was going on, and I decided to comment on a little bit of it. And I don't think anything I said, like I said, is particularly offending. This is my ban right here. I've been banned from participating in MagicTCG. If you have a question regarding your ban, you can contact a moderator. So I did that almost immediately. I haven't heard anything back yet, but I'm assuming that they're getting inundated with just complete and utter chaos at the moment, thanks to all the drama of the weekend. But regardless, let's continue to go over stuff. And this is my Reddit handle if anyone wants to reach out to me. Okay, so here's what's going on. This was on a thread that wasn't really super controversial or anything. Wizards' response to the weekend events. So this was their post that they made over the weekend in regards to everything. I mean, it's pretty blank. They really said nothing. So the context of one of my posts here. So basically, this guy is trying to figure out, okay, well, what's our recourse? Like, what do we do? You know, if this is something that we don't agree with, how do we handle it? And what would you suggest be done that has an impact? And to be honest, I don't think that my point is controversial, but you just don't take part in his content. That's his bread and butter. It's how he makes a living, and if you really want to affect him personally, that's your best way of doing it. I mean, he can have his opinion whether or not you agree with it, and that's really what the second line here is about. But it's really not your job to censor his opinion, but you don't have to listen to it. And that's more or less what I'm saying here. Sure, got downvoted, who cares, whatever. So let's go back. Okay, next post. And keep in mind, these are the only posts I've really ever made in this subreddit. I don't really go on the MagicTCG subreddit that much. So let's see. Okay. This is in response to Tulare Community College's video. They're talking about Jeremy and how he's basically garbage, sure, whatever. And they're saying that he doesn't even understand, like, he doesn't truly grasp the things that he says. Sure, okay. And he compares him to some other people or whatever. I mean, I guess really that's kind of my fault. I said, you know, I hadn't considered that, but you're probably hitting the nail on the head. Seems like Sargon of Akkad, and, you know, I truly believe the second part here. I think both Carl and Jeremy are very smart people, and honestly, counterculture is definitely where the money is at these days. There's tons and tons of YouTube channels. They're all completely just, that's their thing, you know. Shoe on Head, Sargon of Akkad, Bearing, blah, blah, blah. There's tons of them. You know, it's just an easy way to make money. Even if you don't necessarily believe the stuff that you say, it doesn't really do you much harm to say it. And, you know, if you're looking for YouTube ads, that's the way to get it, I guess. Or at least it used to be until very recently. And some guy says, okay, well, he's buddies with Sargon, so there you go. I didn't really know that. I just, kind of an easy comparison to make. So I was like, is that actually a thing? And then he shows me a YouTube video that they apparently made about a year ago. Yeah, falling down the YouTube hole. That's pretty much how I found all those videos. The stay woke feminist videos, they're just awful, but whatever. And then this guy here. Okay. So they're talking about, let's see if I can find the full it's going to be a pain to find it, but more or less the original comment is talking about how Tulare didn't really do like an iDubbbz takedown video. It was more of like a light-handed touch. And then this guy says, I don't care for iDubbbz, but it's hard to argue against that statement. The content cop is, very well done and in depth, but, he does a good job of staying on the line of neutral. He usually uses people's own arguments against them in his videos, if you're not familiar. So it's not, well, here's what I think you said. He'll literally cut pieces out of people's videos where they say these awful things and go, here is what you said. And he was saying that he wished that Tulare College, or I hate his name, it's so stupid, Tulare Community College, the professor, had done that. Sure. And then, iDubbbz Content Cop is a great example of how to tear people apart without sinking to their level. Sure. And then this guy says, I'd hardly characterize white guy lecturing black people on why they should be okay with white people using the N-word in that way, but sure, whatever you feel like believing. Or fell, but he means feel. And I just said, sometimes you can make social commentary and you don't realize that it comes across as insensitive. It's just the nature of the whole thing. I mean, that's true, I feel. Could be wrong, but what do I know? Just a minority in America. Okay. Next post. Let's see. So this is this one goes on about how basically how Jeremy got his start. Starts off harmless, does unboxing videos. Gabby Sparks comes out and is one of the first women in Magic, and he gets pretty shitty about it. And then they start talking about basically how he's a worse version of Alpha Investments. They talk about Rudy. And, I just kind of state my opinion on Rudy. I don't think it's particularly a controversial stance. Just said, yeah, I find Rudy to be pretty annoying overall. That's why I don't watch his videos. But it's not really because of anything he's ever done or said. He kind of keeps politics out of his videos for the most part. So, I appreciate that part of his content. He seems like a pretty level-headed guy in that regard. He just sticks to the thing that he's doing, which is great. I wish more content creators did that. I just don't like how he delivers his message. As I said in this post here, I just kind of hate his blasé arrogance about things. And I even said, he knows his shit. I just don't like how he delivers it, so I don't watch it. And then I kind of go on with, I feel like a pretty adult stance. I'm like, hey, you're not going to like everybody you ever encounter in your life. So, I just kind of learned to be okay with that. Anyway, that's all there is to that. I'd love to talk about my stance on Gabby Sparks maybe another time, but whatever. And then this is the post of, is that actually a thing, blah, blah, blah. Birds of a feather. And then this one is basically a post talking about how, what sums up to, your casual players don't care about this drama. They just don't. It's not something that they're interested in. They'll never encounter it. This is really like a professional / grinder kind of drama, and it won't reach most of these people. And the fact that we're dragging them into it by having wizards get involved, seems a little tacky to me. But, overall I would agree with that stance. I play pretty casually, and I didn't even know about this until people who work at the store that I play at were talking about it in a group chat that I'm in with them. And their stance on the whole thing was basically, they care about it because they're grinders, but they understood that I shouldn't. And it's not because I don't care about internet harassment or whatever, but it's just that I don't know any of the people involved personally. I don't have much of an opinion on it. You know what I mean? So, that being said, everything regarding this entire thing shouldn't even reach your kitchen table Magic players. It makes the game look awful. But that's really my opinion on that subject. Anyway, thanks for watching my stupid rant video. Hopefully, MagicTCG people see this at some point. Probably not. And they unban me because I don't think I did anything wrong here. Maybe just because I didn't immediately agree with the popular opinion, I am supposed to be banned. But that seems like a pretty awful and slippery slope, and it's a big part of the reason that people stopped going to MTG Salvation. So I would hate to see this subreddit fall down that same hole because, I think it's like a much better medium for spreading information about the game. Anyway, thanks for watching. Everybody have a good one.